Hello students, today we are going to discuss a topic on scalars and vectors. After completing this lesson, you will be able to differentiate between scalar and vector quantities and give examples of each. You can also add and subtract two vectors, calculate the product of two vectors and resolve a vector into its components. Whatever physical quantities we come across in physics, they can be divided into either scalar or vectors. Again, scalar quantities have only magnitude. The physical quantities which require only magnitude for their complete specification are known as scalar quantities. For example, mass. Mass means if you are taking the mass of an object, suppose 500 kg, then it completely specifies the mass of the object. It does not require anything else for its complete specification. In contrast, vector quantities require both magnitude and direction for their complete specification. For example, velocity vector. When you are talking about any velocity of any object, suppose a car is moving with 50 km per hour, then you say it is moving along east with 50 km per hour, then only it specifies the complete quantity. Then how to represent a vector? When we represent a vector, we represent it as a line, as you can see in the screen. The vector quantity, suppose a vector A is represented by a line with an arrow. The initial point is A is known as tail and the final point is known as head or tip. Also, we represent the vector as a English alphabet with an arrow above it. The vector A is represented by A and a arrow above it. So, vector representation is vector A with an arrow above it, or simply you can find in your text it is a bold alphabet, English alphabet, that is A. When we are representing a vector, because a vector quantity has both magnitude and direction, so we represent the magnitude part of vector A as modulus of A or simply A, which we write in italics. Now, we will learn about equal vectors. What are equal vectors? If two or more vectors are equal in magnitude and point in the same direction, then they are said to be equal vectors. As you can see on your screen, there are four vectors A, B, C and D vector. But here in case of A and B vector, you can see the vector A and B have same magnitude, are of equal length and they are pointing in same direction. So, you can say that A and B are equal vectors. But in case of B and C, you can see B and C are of same length, but the direction is opposite. So, you can say B and C are not equal vectors. What about C and D? C and D are neither equal in length nor same in direction. So, they are not equal vectors. Now, what are negative vectors? A vector B which has the same magnitude as A but has opposite direction is called negative of A. You can see on your screen that there are two vectors A and B. The length is same in both the cases, but the direction of B is opposite to that of A. Hence, we can say that the vector B is negative of vector A. We represent the negative vector by putting a minus sign. As you can see, B is negative vector of A, hence we can write B equal to minus of A. Now, how can we add two vectors? So, now we will learn about addition of vectors. Vectors can be added by triangle law of vector addition or parallelogram law of vector addition. So, when we add vectors, always we can add two vectors of same type. For example, we can add two velocity vectors or two force vectors, but we cannot add two different kind of vector. For example, we cannot add a velocity vector to a force vector. Now, what is triangle law of vector addition? If two vectors are represented in magnitude and direction by the two sides of a triangle taken in same order, the resultant is represented by the third side of the triangle taken in opposite order. You can see on your screen there are two vectors A and B. So, now we will represent the two vectors by the two sides of a triangle. You can see there is a triangle PQR. So, now we can represent the vector A by the side PQ of the triangle PQR. So, we can represent any vector by the translation of the vector in the same direction. A and the side PQ are parallel to each other and same in length. Similarly, vector B is represented by the side QR, which is same in length and parallel to vector B. So, PQ is represented as vector A and QR is represented as vector B. So, according to the law, the two sides of a triangle is represented by the two vectors A and B, and they are in same order. The direction you can see they are in same order. So, according to this law, the third side of the triangle, that is PR, the third side of the triangle will represent the resultant of the two vectors A and B, and that is also taken in opposite order, because PQ and Q are in anti-clockwise direction, but PR is in clockwise direction. So, this is the result of addition of two vectors. This is how you can add two vectors, and the third side, that is PR, represents the addition of two vectors, that is A plus B. Direction is also given by opposite order. In mathematics, when we add two numbers, the addition of number is commutative. For example, 5 plus 3 equal to 3 plus 5. Similarly, vector addition is also commutative, that is vector A plus vector B equal to vector B plus vector A. As you can see on your screen, the vector A is represented by PQ and vector B is represented by QR. According to triangle law, PQ plus QR, that is vector A plus vector B equal to PR, which is the third side of the triangle and taken in opposite order. So, PR represents A plus B. Now, B plus A equal to, this is B vector, which is QR, and vector A RS, which is parallel to PQ and direction is also same. So, RS represent vector A. Now, in triangle QRS, QR represents B vector, RS represents A vector. So, the third side, that is QS, taken in opposite order, represents B plus A. So, now A plus B and B plus A, that is PR and QS, are same in length, same in direction also. That means A plus B equal to B plus A. Do you know, if A plus B plus C are taken in same order and represented by the three sides of a triangle, that is taken in same order, then the resultant will be 0. How? As you can see on your screen, the vector A plus vector B will represented by the third side of the triangle and taken in opposite order. If it is represented in opposite direction, then A plus B plus C equal to A plus B plus minus of A plus B. So, that will be equal to 0. When we add more than two vectors, in that case we are suppose taking A, B and C vectors, 3 vectors, then the resultant of vector, these 3 vectors will be the vector from the tail of the first vector to the tip of the last vector. As you can see from the screen, here we are taking 3 vectors A, B and C. Now, to find out the resultant of the three vectors, we have to join the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector, that is head of vector C. Now, if we join, it gives the resultant R. So, like this you can add more than two vectors. Vector addition is also associative. That means A plus B plus C equal to A plus B plus C. This is all about triangle law of vector addition. Another law is parallelogram law of vector addition. So, what is parallelogram law of vector addition? When two vectors are represented by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram by direction and magnitude, then the resultant of these vectors is represented in magnitude and direction by the diagonal of the parallelogram starting from the same point. You can see on the screen, A is represented by one side of the parallelogram, that is PQ, B is represented by other side, that is PS, which also start from the point P. That means A and B are starting from the same point. Then you can find the resultant by the diagonal of the parallelogram which starts from the same point P. PS and QR are both same in length and same in direction. So, these two can be represented by vector B, P, Q and S, R. These are also same in length and same in direction, hence they can be represented as vector A. Now, according to parallelogram law, PR, the diagonal of the parallelogram, is the resultant vector R, where theta is the angle. This angle is between the two vectors A and B, and there is another angle alpha, which is the angle between vector A and the resultant vector R. Now, we can find out the magnitude and direction of the resultant from this parallelogram law of vector addition. Here you can see PRT right angle triangle, PR square equal to PT square plus RT square. Now, you can write PT as PQ plus QT. So, in place of PT, you can write PQ plus QT square plus RT square. Now, PQ plus QT square equal to likewise A plus B whole square, A square plus B square plus 2AB. You can also write PQ plus QT square equal to PQ square plus QT square plus 2 into PQ into QT and again plus RT square. Now, this can be simplified as PQ square plus QT square plus RT square plus 2PQ into QT. We have brought this RT square to here. Now, this is equal to PQ square plus QR square. QT square plus RT square equal to QR square plus 2PQ dot QT. This is equal to PQ square plus QR square plus 2PQ QR into QT divided by QR. We have multiplied QR and divided QR. Now, what is QT by QR? QT by QR. This is equal to cos theta. So, now we can write what is PQ? PQ equal to vector A. So, in place of PQ square you can write A square, in place of QR square you can write B square plus 2 PQ equal to A, QR equal to B and QT by QR equal to cos theta. So, now we can write PR is your resultant vector R. So, R square equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, and you can notice that here we have not put the vector sign, we are taking only the magnitude. Now, you can calculate the resultant vector whose magnitude is equal to R that is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta root over, and whose direction equal to tan alpha, which is equal to RT by PT, as you can see from your previous figure, and that is equal to RT divided by PT equal to PQ plus QT, that is equal to RT equal to B sin theta, PQ equal to A, and QT equal to B cos theta. So, you can find out the magnitude and direction of the resultant vector using these formulas. Now, there are some special cases for parallel vectors. For parallel vectors, the angle between the two vectors is 0 degree. As you can see on the screen, vector A and vector B are two parallel vectors and the angle between them is 0 degree. In this case, we can put in the formula for resultant, that is r square equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. In place of theta, we can put 0. So, this becomes a square plus b square plus 2ab cos 0, that is equal to cos 0 equal to 1. Hence, we can write r square equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab, which is equal to a plus b whole square. That means r equal to a plus b. So, if we calculate the resultant of two parallel vectors, then the resultant is equal to the sum of their magnitudes and the direction of the two vectors, that is a and b. Now, in the case of antiparallel vectors means the angle between them is 180 degree, that means theta equal to 180 degree. You can see on your screen that vector A and vector B are antiparallel vectors, they are opposite in direction, angle between them is 180 degree. So, now if you put the same formula for r equal to root over a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, and in case of theta if you put 180 degree, then you can find out r equal to a minus b. Hence, the resultant vector will be along a or b depending upon which of these vector has larger magnitude. In this case, vector a has larger magnitude, hence the resultant will be in the direction of a and the magnitude will be a minus b. In case of perpendicular vectors, the angle between the two vectors will be 90 degree. That means theta equal to 90 degree. As you can see in figure, here two vectors a and b and the angle between them is 90 degree. So, if you put in r equal to root over a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, theta equal to 90 degree, cos theta equal to 0, hence r square equal to a square plus b square. Again, in another special case, if we take a equal to b, hence tan alpha, the direction of that resultant vector, tan alpha equal to b by a, and that is equal to 1 because b and a are equal, b equal to a. So, if tan alpha equal to 1, that means alpha equal to 45 degree, hence the resultant will make an angle of 45 degree with the vector a. This is all about addition of vectors. Now, how we can subtract two vectors? Now, if a and b are two vectors and we have to find out a minus b, as you can see on your screen, a vector minus b vector equal to, we can write a vector plus minus of b vector. So, you can find out using triangle law. Vector a, as you can see, OQ equal to vector a and a QR equal to vector b. But we have to find out the addition of a and vector minus b. So, we have to take the negative vector of b, that is QP. According to triangle law, OQ and QP represent the two sides of a triangle OQP. Hence, the third side, that is OP, taken in opposite order will gave the resultant A minus B or A plus minus B. This is how you can subtract two vectors. Now, how can we multiply vectors? Multiplication of vectors can be of three types. Multiplication of vector by scalar, scalar product of two vectors, and vector product of two vectors. First, we will discuss about multiplication of vector by scalar. When we multiply a vector A by a scalar, suppose k, as you can see, vector A into scalar k equal to another vector whose magnitude will be equal to k times magnitude of A and its direction will be along A. So, here you can see vector A. If we are taking a scalar k equal to 3, then the product will be 3 into A. So, now you can see on the screen the resultant vector, that is 3A, will be 3 times the magnitude of A. This is your A vector and this is your 3A vector. Its magnitude is 3 times of A and direction will be same as vector A. Now, what is scalar product of two vectors? Scalar product of two vectors A and B equal to A dot B. It is represented by vector A dot vector B, which is equal to AB cos theta, where theta is the angle between vector A and vector B. Also, we can say that scalar product of A and B is the product of magnitude of vector A with the length of the projection of B along A. The scalar product of two vectors is also called dot product. Scalar product of two vectors is a scalar quantity. The scalar product is also commutative. That means A dot B equal to B dot A. It is also distributive. That means A dot B plus C equal to A dot B plus A dot C, as you can see on your screen. Now, we will discuss about vector product of vectors. Vector product of two vectors A and B written as A cross B is a vector, say C, whose magnitude is AB sin theta and whose direction is perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. You can see from the figure the vector product of the two vectors A and B is equal to another vector C, which is perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. This is the plane which is in dotted line and the vector C is equal to A cross B and the vector C is perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. So, in case of vector product, the resultant quantity is a vector. It is also called cross product, as we write the vector product as A cross B. It is also known as cross product. Hence, the vector product of two vectors is a vector quantity and the direction of that vector, resultant vector, is found out by right hand rule. What is right hand rule? Right hand rule is, if we call the fingers of our right hand in the direction from A to B, then the direction of thumb gives the direction of the resultant vector C. Here, if we are taking A cross B, then A to B is in anti-clockwise direction. If we are calling our finger from A to B in anti-clockwise direction, then the direction of the thumb will be in upward direction. So, the direction of vector C will be in upward direction. But in case of B cross A, it will be in clockwise direction. So, if we call our fingers in clockwise direction, then the direction of thumb is in downward direction. Hence, the resultant vector that will be in downward direction. Hence, A cross B is in upward direction and B cross A is in downward direction. Hence, we can say the vector product is not commutative. That means, A cross B is not equal to B cross A, or we can say A cross B is equal to minus of B cross A. Now, what is resolution of vectors? As we are studying about addition of vectors, when two vectors are added, we get the resultant vector. But in case of resolution of vectors, we divide a vector into its component. So, resolution of vector is to calculate the component of a given vector along any set of coordinate axes. As you can see on the screen, here we are taking any vector A, this is vector A. Now, we take any coordinate axis. Suppose we are taking small x and small y as the coordinate axis. This is x axis and this is y axis. So, we can divide or we can find out the component of vector A in this coordinate system as Ax, that is the x component of vector A, or the component of vector A along x axis as Ax, which is equal to A cos theta, where theta is the angle between vector A and the x axis, and Ay, that is the component of vector A along y axis as A sin theta. If we change the coordinate axis, that is x axis and y axis, then the components will change. So, now Ax along this axis, Ax, the component of A along this x axis, that is Ax equal to A cos phi. What is phi? Phi is the angle between vector A and x axis. Similarly, you can find out Ay, that is the component of vector A along y axis as A sin phi. So, this is how we can find out the component of any vector in any set of coordinate axes as Ax and Ay. Now, calculation of a vector from its component. If the components of a vector is given to you, you can calculate the vector whose components they are. You can calculate the vector A if Ax and Ay are given. A equal to root over Ax square plus Ay square if Ax and Ay are given to you, and that is also equal to Ax square plus Ay square. This is along small x small y coordinate axis and this is along capital X capital Y coordinate axis. So, the component of a given vector change when we change the coordinate axis. Now, tan theta equal to Ay by Ax and tan phi equal to Ay by Ax. So, this is how you can find out this is the magnitude of the vector and this gives the direction of the vector. You can, from this you can find out theta equal to tan inverse Ay by Ax, and you can find out the angle between the vector and the x axis. Let us summarize what we have learned today. In physics, there are two kinds of physical quantities, scalars and vectors. A scalar has only magnitude, a vector has both direction and magnitude. Vectors are added according to the triangle law and parallelogram law. The scalar product of two vectors is a scalar quantity. The vector product of two vectors is a vector quantity. Vectors can be resolved into components along a specified set of coordinate axes. Thank you.